Hi, Yash.
Priyanka, so thank you so much for being a part of our community and helping our members get interesting coping mechanisms about what they're feeling. I know you are a psychologist, but I would like to hear from you about, of course, yourself and what are the various common no, as a psychologist, what are the various issues that are coming to you these days, problems that are coming to you these days, and some coping mechanisms, further coping mechanisms to these problems that you can share?
So, Yash, what is happening around is that there is sudden and spontaneous news of negativity that is surrounding everybody. There's too much negativity around, like deaths happening, so much saddening news, so much so at a given point of time. There's too much an input, and that too all negative. Um, what is happening is that there's a lot of grief that is being involved, a lot of helplessness that comes with it because nobody is able to deal with it, like how to go by it, how to accept it. So there's an issue of acceptance and helplessness that arises because nobody can actually go out and reach those people or their families. So a
Yes.
confusion is there, a feeling of being perplexed is there. So this is what is happening, and I'm getting a lot of cases for the same. There's a lot of anxiety that builds up. See, if we see, it's been more than a year now, and having lockdowns and staying at home, not being able to meet people whom we care for, whom we love, it builds up the anxiety, it builds up the frustration, and the irritation level has also increased. So all this has mounted the helplessness, and people are really, like, they do not know. In fact, all of us do not really know how to cope with this. So
Yes.
what is happening around is totally, you understand how it is. Like there
Yes.
will be many
I,
lost, so many deaths in their
Yes, I guess, and this is natural. So that's the saddest part. There is nothing that we can control. If the oxygen is not available, people are running around. They are stressed. They are running around. One person gets it, he gets hundreds of calls saying, "Where can I also get it?" It becomes suddenly, a feeling of uh, oh my God, so many people don't have it. Uh, one tends to forget the privilege that comes ki shukar hai mere ko to mil gaya, but one gets bogged down by the again that feeling around them that so many don't have it. So yes, I totally get this thing. And what's your
there are
advice?
so many setbacks that people are having. So what I feel is that handling the grief part, it's like we cannot force it to ourselves that this has happened and we have to, like, move on. Moving on will happen gradually, but then giving ourselves some space is also at the same time very much needed. So being in a space when you feel that you're completely zoned out or you do not know and you're too much overwhelmed is very natural. So letting that be and allowing yourself and allowing that feeling to overpower you for some time is okay, and it is natural. It is very important also that you let it out, because the more it builds inside you, the more you stop it or the more you suppress it, it is going to, uh, volcano up to some point and then burst out. So best is to let it be and accept that this is a very natural period. If it is death of some close person, the grief mostly stays for a year or so. This is the natural way of a human to deal with it. But considering the scenario that is happening around us, what we are doing is that we are forcing up, ye ho gaya, we have to move on because we have to take care of us as well. The rest of the members of the family also need to take care of their well-being, which is, yes, very much needed at the hour. So the grief, yes, will stay, it will subside eventually, but then letting it and acknowledging it is very important. Letting the emotions out is at the same time very important. Now coming to the well-being, if you've ever traveled by airplane, you would know that they request that if there is a need of oxygen sometime, then they will have those oxygen things fall, and you will have to wear the masks you'll have to wear. So the instruction that they give is, first wear your own mask, first wear your own seat belt before helping anybody else, even if it is your baby.
Yes.
That is why it's very important to fill your own cup first before we reach out to anybody else. If we are empty ourselves, we cannot pour out into anybody else's cup at all. So it is very important we take care of our own health, our own well-being at the same time. So giving some time to ourselves, taking time out for some exercise at home only, like some yoga or something that is a little pro health. Taking time for some meditation, if that works for you. Deep breaths work wonders. Deep breaths are known to have, like in a snap, they help to lower the anxiety levels. So if it is the anxiety that you're dealing with, so much happening around you in your family, if you have somebody fighting this, and there's so much of frustration, irritation
Uncertainty.
build up,
Yeah, there's a lot of
deep breathing
uncertainty.
really helps. Uncertainty, yes. So there's a lot of angst that is there. So to lower it, deep breathing works wonders. Even deep breathing helps to build the lung power, lung capacity as well. So the ones who are struggling with it, they can also try. Yes, it will help them also. Because, what lately we've been hearing is that people are losing hope, and that is why they are dying more than the COVID itself.
Yes, that's
so having the hope, having the willpower is very important at the same time. Yes. Our body starts to respond how we want it to respond in a certain way.
Yeah, I was just saying, so the way we are thinking.
Yes.
What I gather from you in what you have been advising is that one is the circumstances are unavoidable, and also as a common Indian practice, so we know it as an Indian practice, and I think it happens in more than our country, is like we give ourselves 1 year space, which is, you are saying, a normal time to get over a close relatives passing on. I would say passing on, I believe people are going to a better place, naturally.
Yeah.
So, but while you give that space,
yes,
I think for me and for the others, the advice you are giving is that give space to yourself to experience and go through what you're feeling. If it is sadness, go through sadness. If it is, if you're upset, go through being upset. Once you are through that phase, once you've given yourself that time, and then as coping, do meditation, do breathing during these times when you feel that it is getting too much for you. I hear that's what I'm hearing from you. Is that, am I getting that right?
Definitely. At the same time, I would like to add on that connecting with people also helps.
Yeah,
as in like connecting with the ones whom you feel are there for you.
People are not.
Yes, you were asking.
Yeah, I was also going to ask the same thing about connecting with people. What I'm finding that within the family itself, people are not sharing. Or there is a feeling or an expectation that we are elders, and would you recommend sharing in the family, people sitting together and, okay, if this person has passed, maybe meal time.
Highly recommended.
No, not to scare people.
Yes, having sort of a circle time. Definitely not to scare, not to highlight the negative aspect of it, but to come and share yourself out so that at least you are relieved. And at the same time, limiting yourself only to the facts rather than exaggerating and going into the heads. sometimes what happens is we start exaggerating and over generalizing the issue. So that happens, yes, but at the same time we should try to limit it to the what the facts are. And having this circle time is very important within the family, so that one can discuss out, one can share the insecurities. At the same time, he or she may get a lot of support from the other family members as well.
And the
So
family members
being
will
in
also, sorry,
connection
yes.
is a very,
Yeah, I was like, other family members will also get the courage to
yes,
speak up and say that, okay, I'm also feeling bad. This person's moved on, but
yeah,
I'm glad. And, if you hear from each other the
yeah,
thankfulness and happiness that we at least have each other, I guess that matters a lot.
yeah. So now coming to the thankfulness, I think gratitude is also very important. So we start the day with gratitude that thankfully we are alive, checking on people who matter to us. They are alive, they are keeping well. So that is also a very good start of the day. It gives you something to look forward to. Like uh, in the present scenario of so much hopelessness and so much negative news all around, this is something that can give us a very positive kick in the start of the day to begin the day with.
So Priyanka, like I wanted this to be short so people get the best of our conversation. I'm summing up what I got from the conversation, and do correct me if you have anything to add on. I have three takeaways that I get. The first thing is, and the basis of all this is what is happening. We are just players in this. It is natural what is happening, and uh, we cannot change death, we cannot change corona, we cannot change the pandemic, the news, we have those limitations, and we have accepting that. That's the baseline. We are accepting that. From there, to ensure that we are well, ensure our well-being, one, take a break, take our my space time, and cope up by naturally experiencing what we are going through and letting our emotions flow. I take that as the first point. And during this time, exercise and meditation can all be helpful. That's my first takeaway. The second takeaway, what I hear, yeah, yes,
And deep breathing also works
and
wonders.
deep breathing works. Yes, in fact, a lot of Baba Ramdev actually promoted pranayam and Lom Vilom. And since then, at least this is a familiar concept with people. How many are doing it differs, but we all have come to understand the importance of deep breathing undeniably. So this is taking a break and practicing your own, practicing things like meditation, deep breathing, and exercise for your well-being. That I take as a first point. The second point that I would take is that we stick to the facts and we don't overgeneralize things or put into emotions when we are looking at it happening, because that tends to exaggerate and we feel helpless. But if we stick to the fact, I think we are, keeping it as natural and right as possible, and it is easier to address it as well. And the third thing I'm taking away is the family time, the family circle that you mentioned. Have a family time, be with your family and share. Again, of course, after having taken care of yourself and sticking to facts, have these talks with the family as well and have more of family time together and connect with people around you as well. So I'm taking this as the three top takeaways from what we spoke. Would that be right? Would you want to add something?
Definitely. Yes.
Good. Priyanka, again,
Perfect.
thank you. Thank you.